Hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I wanted to take a moment at the beginning of this episode to wish my condolences to the family, friends, and many fans of Mr. Leonard Nimoy who passed away yesterday. He will be missed. Now, let's move on to a little bit more happier matters. As you can see, we're back at the Manderville Gold Saucer. Today we're going to be taking a look at Triple Triad. From the entrance hall, the airship entrance being just over that way, it's directly to the left of it. It's pretty simple to start off with. Just speak to the Triple Triad Master, and you'll get a starting set of 5 cards. These appear in your inventory. And you can play an initial battle against this Triple Triad Master who teaches you the basics. The rules of Triple Triad here, I believe, are essentially the same as they are in Final Fantasy VIII. And I'll talk a little bit about them as we go through. For those of you who have never played the game before, it's played on a grid, with players taking turns placing cards. The card with a higher number flips the card with a lower number. Just like that. So it's very simple to learn, but it's difficult to master, as many good games are. So now we can play against any of the people in here and all over the world. You'll find several NPCs and they'll have this symbol over their heads. If they have that, that means they are able to challenge. Now I'll explain some of these rules. All open means all cards can be seen. The same rule means that if a card is adjacent to 2 or more cards and the numbers on the connecting sides are the same, it will flip those cards so long as at least one of them is an opposing card. The same rule didn't come into effect in this match, but it can, and I won a Moogle card. Jonas of the Three Spades, I believe, is the easiest of the challengers in here. The 3 open rule means that you'll be able to see 3 of your opponent's cards. plus rule means that when a card is placed adjacent to at least two cards, at least one of them, of an opposing color, and the sums of the facing numbers, for example, here. Because the 2s and the 7s totaled the same amount, I was able to claim both those cards, and then he was able to do the same thing, and that precipitated into a combo. It's the additions of all of these rules that make this game so difficult to master, but nonetheless still fun. The random rule means that 5 random cards will be selected from what you own. Since I don't own many, the point is moot, essentially. As you can see, the card masters here are all of varying difficulties. The Ascension rule means that as more cards of the same type are played, that cards' powers increase. The Sudden Death rule means that a game cannot end in a draw and a new game will begin again immediately. So you see this says +1, that means that the numbers are actually, the values of that card are actually 1 greater than they display as. So that 4 would normally take this card, but because this has a +1, it does not. In addition to the card masters here, we also have the tournament ranking board. Since a tournament has not taken place, of course, all names on this board are NPCs. You can buy cards in exchange for MGP from the Triple Triad trader. Let's go out into the world briefly and take a look at some of the other people that we can challenge. Here we are back in Ul'dah, the Quicksand, the Adventurers Guild, challenging the Quicksand proprietress Momodi Modi herself. Momodi uses the order rule, which means that the cards must be played in the order that they are drawn. In this instance, it was probably best to play defensively. And here we are in Gridania to challenge the Adventurers Guild keeper here, Mother Mione. And here we are in Lenosia to challenge the Adventurers Guild keeper here, Vateron. This game uses the Chaos rule, which means that cards must be played in a random order. Well everyone, that concludes our short demonstration of Triple Triad in the game Final Fantasy XIV. I only had a starter deck, I didn't really stand a chance against any of these players. However, as you play against people and win more cards, your deck can become stronger. In addition to buying cards for MGP here, you can also find them in some dungeons and of course win them in matches. You can also challenge other players, but you cannot win or lose cards that way, as far as I know. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.